Greetings there, everybody. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included, episode 15, which originally streamed live on Twitch. So, then the other question I have is, I guess I should explain different ways to delete heat. So there's a thermal aqua tuner. It cools the liquid pipe through it and outputs the heat in the immediate vicinity. And the thermal aqua tuner requires 1.2 kilowatts of power. So what you could do is you could set up a thermal aqua tuner if you are willing to completely ruin a cold biome. You could set up a thermal aqua tuner in a particularly cold environment and then have the oil that's pumped through it dump the heat. Basically, it's essentially a heat dump. Dump the heat into a cold biome. So I have some cold biomes that could be used for this purpose. Like over here, you know. That would be the thermal. That would be the aqua tuner. So how to lower the oil temp. Or I could do radiant pipes. Another way to do it, which is without the use of a 1.2 kilowatt installation, is to set up insulated pipes to like a cold biome, and then to use radiant pipes. So insulated pipes don't really allow the transfer of heat between the liquid in the pipe and the outside environment, whereas radiant pipes do, and they encourage it. So I could set up insulated pipes to a cold biome and then radiant pipes, and then probably after I cool it down, I could even turn it to plastic. Or I could feed it back into the steel refinery. Either way. So aqua tuner, radiant pipes, or don't delete the heat at all would be another option. Just let it be really hot oil, and it could potentially phase change. So if you heat, here, let me get the. If you heat it up hot enough, the states, you can turn oil to it can become a solid at negative 40.1 Celsius. This crude oil, or become petroleum, and what petroleum goes to, I think, sour gas? Yeah, petroleum goes to sour gas at 538 Celsius. The problem is, once it gets really, really hot, it's also going to do a lot of damage to the steel refinery, but we'll come up with a way to deal with that one way or another. The reason why I didn't include the nullifier, the anti-entropy thermal nullifier, is I don't have a renewable source of hydrogen. I have not found a hydrogen geyser, and because exploration is not a high priority task for me, I'm not trying to find a geyser at the moment. The aqua tuner cannot vent heat into space because you can't. There's no thermal transfer between an object and its vacuum. So what ends up happening is the nullifier just becomes hot with no space to put the heat, and then it breaks. So you're essentially deleting heat into the aqua tuner itself, and the aqua tuner will just get destroyed continually. Vacuum is not. You can't use vacuum to. Vacuum doesn't have a temperature. It's just vacuum. So there's no way to transfer heat into a vacuum. Think of it this way. If you stick nothing in your microwave, and then you hit one, what are you... I guess hypothetically you're heating the air. But imagine it's not air, it's just a vacuum. Nothing happens. Microwaves bounce around the microwave device, heating nothing up, and then you end up with having spent power to heat nothing. So, the game is somewhat realistic in that you can't just delete heat into space magically. Alright, I did want to fix this, so let me disable this. I'm just doing some tidying, So I'm disabling my carbon scammer to fix the hideous pipes that I have here. There's no need for it to be this ugly. The other thing I'm doing is I'm setting docks up for future exosuits. Now that we have oxygen for the exosuits. In fact, that kind of reminds me that I do have the... Well, it's at max gas pressure. Let me turn this down then. I forgot that I left this on, doubling the amount of oxygen I produce. But it was actually not really doubling because it was at max pressure constantly. Hey, Bunker Joe and Ripper's Ripper. Thank you for the resubs. And welcome. I appreciate it. See, that's a lot more elegant. That's a lot more elegant. So, radiant pipes. Got it. So if we're doing a radiant pipe setup, there's a few things to consider. So I'm just going to think aloud. So 1, we want the refinery to be in a spot that can handle the heat to begin with. Because the refinery itself will produce heat. So we have to assess for that, or we have to address that. 2, we probably don't want that long of a run of radiant pipes and insulated pipes. So we're also going to want to set up a system that is not a far run, but then we also don't want to have to travel very far to it. So ideally, I would use, I don't know, maybe this cold biome down here? It's far, but, like, it's manageable as long as I min-max the commute to it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Is I am going to min-max the commute to a steel processor in this location here. Cutting a swath of everything. Oh, I don't need this gas fan anymore. Okay. So, update. Well, it's the same priority. Set up steel. But now I have a little bit more direction. So I already have long commutes up. So what I am trying to do, in effect, is to shorten the commute, but also put the steel processing in a spot that isn't going to be so destructive. So the beauty of this is I have a nice pool of ethanol here, and then I'll be able to cool it down here. So I have a lot of the things that I need to be able to process steel sort of locally placed. You got yourself super stuck, didn't you? Why are you... Oh, because you don't even have the granite. What is... Get stuck! I like how Kellyan's just burying himself. Because you don't have hard digging, do you? Okay, let me fix this. Do it now. Problem is, Kellyan can't really get out. So, what do I have here? Igneous? I'll just, there. Build you a way out. Alright. I am looking for granite. Or I could just change it over to igneous. I'll just change it over to igneous. They seem to be No one can really come for them because they're the only ones with the exosuit, so I'd have to disable the Atmo checkpoint in order to get them to not be stranded. Oh, come on, Chemo. Oh, okay. Teleport! Don't stick your head down there. Obviously, this fire pole's completely worthless now, and I'll probably remove it at some point. I'm not sorry. Well, you should be. Why did it tell me that my toilets were out of order? Oh, I think they were just flushing. Okay. Jeremy water, none. Filter. Fine. That'll work. For more of the liquid locks if I want more. So here I will stick the metal refinery. And I'm going to do it out of igneous so it slowly heats. Then I am going to require probably another power transformer. But this power transformer... Oh, man. The way I've laid out my cables makes it hard to make a bridged run. So this is going to be hideous. Well, it can't float, so let me get rid of that. Oh, right, we voted oil, didn't we? Alright, well, I think I'm going to do it at ethanol, just because the oil biome's not near anywhere that would be able to take it. Is there any realistic way for you to lose? Yes. You can starve, you can suffocate, you can... You know, there's a lot of different ways you can legitimately lose. And you gotta be careful of that, because it can happen. Yeah, so if I was to use oil... there's another way to use it. So, should I go downward to try to find oil for the steel? I can also plummet. That's fine. It is a long run, but whatever. I can still use oil. So if it is yes, what I would do is I would just continue this ladder essentially as far down as it requires to go, because I do believe that there's probably an oil biome below us. It's just a lot of hard digging to get there. We'll get started. So here we go. Here's the metal refinery. And we would want to do iron to steel, so that requires iron, refined carbon, which we would need a kiln for, and lime, which we don't have a lot of, but we can process more through the crusher. Plus there might be artifacts or fossils below us that would yield lime. little... Because you all voted that I should explore south. So yeah, it's sort of two birds, one stone. Absolutely. Of course, I'm exploring on kind of the left edge, but yeah, it's fine. I'm also interested to see what's in here, too. So maybe I'll dig that once we get there. Why is there eggshells here? What happened to my pip eggs? They won't hatch, will they? Okay. Don't know what happened there, but next time I'll incubate so that doesn't happen again. Oh, what's Jeremy? I saw them disinfecting, which is odd because I don't think I should have germs, but, you know, whatever. Alright, let's dump this water back in. Nice and clean now. And you guys want me to search downwards. Got it. So, I'll update. So one of the things, if you check the details tag here, you can see that we have set up alternate pod location, which is kind of obvious because we're near the space and we're near the left. But we also have Geoactive. And we really haven't found any evidence of Geoactive yet. I've only found a few geysers and a few fissures, so I think it's only a matter of time until we start finding some abundance. We also have large boulders and small boulders, and I'm a little worried about the fact that the map is like going to be mostly obsidian as a result. So like this is a large boulder of obsidian, and you know, there's not a whole lot that I need to do to use obsidian with. So it's kind of a bummer that the map generation was just like, all right, obsidian, oodles and oodles of obsidian. It's like, I don't want obsidian, but oh well, just the way it is. Oh man, one at a time, Hess, one at a time. I like how he speeds up, or she, I don't even know, when it's break time. It's like, oh, time to run. I was lying before. So the exosuits are slowly lowering in their oxygen amount, so I'm going to start to turn off the vents again so that we can top them up. So I'm a little worried about them going empty. Because then we won't be able to make any progress. We're all like that a little bit at work sometimes. Minimally productive. Yeah, see, like this. Where are you going? I think one thing that would help is if I actually prioritize this so that they don't walk away for something else constantly. Because the amount of time it takes to get down here means that... Okay, he's like, no! I'm leaving. Fine, whatever. The amount of time it takes to get down here is the big investment of work. So for them to just like up and bail, kind of a waste. What's going on over here? Come on, explore. Oh, there we go. Question. Who goes in the facilitator? Glitch, Hess, Chemo, Kelvin, or Viper? So just a little heads up about who they are, what they do. Glitch is our rancher, farmer, cook. Hess is the mechatronics engineer. Also, I guess, super hard digging now. Chemo is the super hard digging demolition with some... I'm going to give you more strength. With, eventually maybe our doctor. Kellyan's our researcher, and I'll give you bedside manner. And then Viper is our cleaner. Constructor and cleaner. So, who goes in will be up to you. And we inspected data log for the computer desk. We also have a vending machine, which might have some stuff in it, and a Wheezewort, which I'm going to want to grab at some point. Chemo, yeah, you're technically the fighter too. Chemo's already been through one of the processes, so Chemo has like regenerative limbs or whatever, allowing you to take damage and recover like what 20% per day, something like that. This is a much bigger cold biome than I thought it would be. There's a lot of stuff down here. A lot of places to put our heat. Glitch votes for himself. No comment. Taking a look at my salt amount, it's rather low, so one of the things I might want to do soon is to grab some additional salt nodes, because we don't want to run out. Let me see where the closest salt is. So I hit this. There was one full west. Alright, there's one here, which I could, I guess, ladder for. It's kind of inconvenient. There's this here. That would be the easiest, I think, because we already have a tunnel here. Alright. And I'm going to put a timer on this, just 1 more minute. And here's our Wheezewort. Where do we have a hot spot? It's kind of hot down here, but I'm not that worried about it. Definitely getting hotter where our power jennies are, so I guess that wins. And yeah, that's not how that's going to be able to work. Let me fix that. Disable. So what I'm doing over here is I'm having it be a 2-watt line, or a 2 kilowatt line, rather than a 1 kilowatt line, so it can accommodate a steel refinery. The steel refineries is a 1.2K, which is greater than what a 1 wire can offer. Alright, Kellyan, you're going in for a bit of a brain reprogramming. Congrats. The other question is, have I found any other fissures, geysers, etc.? No. I don't see any neutronium, which is too bad. But I do see another AETN down right here. We're actually digging straight at it, which is cool. Except for I have to dig around it then. The only thing that bothers me is I haven't found any renewable source of hydrogen. So someday, never. Oh, and complete. What do you get? Extra strong. So what are you, strength 20 now? 21. Mega strong. Love it. Hey, Cheese, welcome. How hard would it be turn water into oxygen? So I could turn water into oxygen and hydrogen. The problem is, again, I have no way of safely pumping a lot of the water that I already have because I don't have pumps that can handle the heat. And then I have a pretty finite amount of water, which I've been very diligent about not using so that we don't die. So I could, but I think it's reckless to do it. Just in my opinion. Building, no. No. Sandstone. Feed them hatches. Oh, puppy treats? Sorry, I didn't notice. Here you go, buddy. Here you go. A substantial amount of salt water, yes. I do. I just don't have a way to pump it without the pump breaking 24/7, 365 forever. Not until I have steel. So it's very much a chicken and the egg situation. So this polluted oxygen happens not to be good. It's not germy. I thought I had another wheezewort. Didn't I dig 2 wheezeworts up? No? I could have swore I did, but I guess I didn't. Well, here's the second one. So far, no oil, though. And no geysers. Let me increase the priority down here for these tasks. Very curious to how I get steel without gold amalgam. And I'm going to be building pumps that break regularly and then having to replace them. Basically, make a little bit of steel, knowing that I'm breaking pumps, and then have those pumps replaced by the steel that I've made. Is sort of the way to go about it. Which is why I'm not really planning on incorporating any pumps other than what is the bare necessities in order to make the steel. Because, like, let's say I start pumping the salt water to be able to desalinate it, using up the water and capturing the salt. That pump is going to break constantly. And then basically one of my duplicants' full-time job is going to be in an exosuit repairing that pump over and over and over again. So that's why I'm avoiding anything that requires any high temperature tolerance, because it wouldn't make sense to build it right now unless it helps steel. So do nothing but focus on steel, more or less. And then every other sidetrack that we're doing is in order to keep the lights on or the base breathable. So we're still sort of waiting on the last 2 docks to top up on oxygen. Has these vents seriously not been closed yet? No, they're closed. It's just takes a while. I'll double it. Yeah, basically everything eventually asks for steel. It's very hard to do anything without steel. You can't really go to space without steel without getting demolished, without the ability to make bunker tiles and doors and the like. And then rockets require steel, the Home Sweet Home requires steel, so a lot of things require steel. So it's good that we're focusing on getting steel. Oh, I hate you. Why would you do this to me? I might try to re-change the priorities because I feel like there's just a lot of wasted back and forth. So I'm going to look around to make sure that there aren't things... You know what I could do is I could set everything to 5. And then the things that shouldn't be 5, I'll set a little bit higher. So I want to keep the Wheezeworts fed. The farms are good at 6. The Bins here should be where they're at. Shearing is fine to be high priority because it's something we need. All this, I would say, I'll put to 7s. Nine doesn't really matter up there. So we're not doing anything over there. This could be 7s again. The bins are at 9. Trying to make it so that whoever is working down there doesn't immediately turn around and come home. Because that's been a recurring thing that has been happening, which is not so cool. Alright, there's another wheeze. The ATN. And then once we get down to this spot here... There we go. I'll dig to the side and then start a new ladder looking for oil. Oh, there is one right here. Let's see what this is. Chlorine. Okay. That's not that useful. And a map full of chlorine, another chlorine vent is kind of sad news. Oh well. Just keep going. Where are you off to? What are you doing? Quit storing the ice. I should just watch what they're doing. Yeah, quit storing ice. I don't care. I'll turn those off. I'm going to spend a minute just to analyze... Oh, we got our first glossy. Nice. That's great. So glossies are sheared for plastics, whereas the regulars are sheared for fibers. We don't have any plastic yet. So that, once we shear that glossy, it will be the start of our plastic. Without putting them in a hydrogen environment, I'm really only going to be able to shear it once. But perhaps that becomes a priority to set up a proper direct ranch for plastics or fabrics. Did I check what this is? Or is this new? Polluted water. Hey, more water. That is new. So polluted water is great. I don't know what temperature comes out. I imagine it's probably hot. The other thing I could work on while we, yeah, the other thing I could work on while, my duplicates are mining down there is to get the conductive wire all the way down, which is... I'll probably end up using this conductive wire for, like, other things in the future. So it always helps to have a conductive wire for the things that require 2K power. There's the conductive wire run. And right now the transformers are off, so they're not producing heat and they're not sending power or anything like that. You're welcome, Bunker Joe. I'm happy to help. Yeah, polluted water is a more normal temp typically, but you have to deal with the pollution. I mean, I do already have the filtration set up for that, so I'm not that worried about the work required for polluted water. But it's just one more thing to tap. And if anyone that has played enough Oxygen Not Included knows, there's always new projects to undertake, so you can only really work on... I mean, there's a finite amount of labor, so you gotta have to be really careful about how you, what projects you take on, or you get nothing done. You basically just run around doing a whole lot of nothing. So I'm trying to work on the priority that's above me, or rather above Yoda. Now it's above me, and ignore the other stuff, because there's a finite amount of work to be had. All right, so here is this salt and the rust that we needed. And hauling that away. It's annoying that we're doing, but I'm going to change the priorities here because a lot of what we're doing is tidying up, and we shouldn't be tidying up other than Viper. So I'm going to lower the tidy priorities, and that will hopefully get the constructors and miners to construct and mine a little bit more purposefully and efficiently. Oh, look at all this algae. So much algae. Am I planning on upgrading all the wires at some point? Not necessarily. I don't think it's all that necessary to bring your wires up to 2K wires everywhere. It really depends on how you want to design. So you can either design it with 1K wires and just a whole lot of individual power transformers, or if you want your base to be really ugly, you could power it up with you know, heavy watt wires. But heavy watt wires are hideous, so that will really hurt your decor. But it's viable. So I don't... Oh, wort seed. And yeah, it's better than everything else. Nice. Hotspots. Maybe I'll put the wort seed over here, where the salt water is. Because eventually that heat is going to build up and find its way towards us. So I might as well try to mitigate it early. Because mitigating it later becomes really expensive when it's sent a lot of heat to your base. Decorating plus 10, yeah. I mean, maybe if you have a colony of 25, you could have use of a full-time decorator, but I certainly don't. Alright, quick question. Do you want me to continue on the path that I'm currently on, that you voted on, or to change it up? Should I change my tactic for oil, or should I pick a new task, or should I just keep doing what you want me to be doing? Leave it up to you. Just figured I'd ask. Just scoping to see if there's anything that I've missed or overlooked. I'd go into this facility, but it's all like this polluted oxygen that I don't necessarily want spilling into the base. So I'd want a water lock before going in here, but this is probably a facilitator, I'd imagine. Hard to tell. I am indeed aware of the Aquatuner steam generator meta. If I've beaten the game, I'll put it that way. I've played start to finish and gone to the Temporal Tear. So most of that kind of meta I am aware of. But I'm taking this casually. It's in the about, it's in the title, it's in the tags. I have no backseating. Other than, you know, voted polls and the like. Alright, I'm going to keep an eye on these guys to see what they're doing. I think what they're doing at this point is they're having to go grab. So let me change this over to granite, because there's a giant chunk of granite right where they are. So I think that's the holdup. Chemo, don't go anywhere. You stay here. Grab the granite, build, mine, grab the granite, build, mine. Yes, I do indeed have a no backseating tag. I do find like a little bit of backseating acceptable, but like the whole, you're doing it wrong, you should change priorities, or it's like, we voted. We all voted. The whole chat had an opportunity to vote on the priorities. So for you to like try to grab the wheel and steer towards a different priority, yeah, that's like where I draw the line, because everybody has input. So for you to think that your input is better than the collective sum of all the viewers is the line as to where what I would consider backseating. So a little bit of backseating is fine, but, you know, keep in mind that it is a democratically voted priority system. So, and I do leave opportunities for people to have viewer input constantly. How long have we been on? 2 hours, 26 minutes. Or 27 minutes, according to that bot. Yeah. And the difference between I got distracted and forgot to do something to stop working on your current project and work on the thing I'm about to suggest. Those two are very different in my mind. But if you want to try to backseat me, that's fine. I'll just probably not read your comment. I read basically all of chat and just respond selectively. I do miss things, so actually, I'm not going to say I read all of chat, but I read most. So the 2K power line is basically done. It runs all the way about here. That will be a dedicated line for probably this in the kiln. I'm probably not going to put the kiln here. But I'm not going to worry about getting the kiln up until we have oil. And it looks like continuing the project is going to be voted on. So somehow or another. So after this, I think what I'll do is I'll ask you, should I pipe the oil down or keep searching for it lower? If indeed you want me to continue with the oil. If you don't want me to continue with the oil and you want me to go with water or ethanol, that's a whole different poll. That's not winning. All right, still very Jeremy. Let me start hotkeying the locations. So this is location 1, location 2. So I don't have to pan so much. So Chemo, you are doing a really good job getting this little mining tunnel going. And continue it is. Alrighty. Should I keep searching for oil or use the supply I have found? Alright, there is the pole. I believe I'm just about... Oh, lead? Yeah, and fossils... and diamond. So I think I'm about to enter an oil biome by the by. Seems to me like that's about to happen, because generally speaking, oh yeah, crude oil. Yup. Just gotta keep getting lower. I don't know if there's going to be a renewable source, but we're definitely in the oil biome depth at this point. All right. Glitch, I'm going to have you stop cooking. Because my refrigerator is full. And I want you to work on other things. Because there's no space to put more food. Good. The salt and the rust looks good. That definitely got raised back up, which is what I wanted. Oh, oops. There. Would it be good to snag the wilds? Oh yeah, actually, we don't even have... You mean these wilds? I should have snagged these because they finally hatched. I'm probably not going to go... because it's not part of my priorities going into the chlorine here to grab these wild Drekos. I'll just leave them be. But the ones that just hatched are already in the base, so they're easy to grab for fibers. And we're about to get 1, 2, 3, 4 more as well. So our ranch is going to be rather full pretty soon. The question is, are we going to bother to try to ranch the glossies or not? Because the way to do Drecos properly is to put them in a hydrogen environment so they regrow their scales, and I don't have that. You know, I could start to pump the hydrogen, filter it out, and store it, but that's a whole different project. But yeah, these guys should be rounded up. Sheared. I think what I'll do is in this location, I'm going to start to do a secondary tunnel because I guess Chemo just wants to do the secondary tunnel. Hey, Chemo. Can you build over dig? No! Wait, where are you going? Oh, okay, he is digging. So this is all igneous. So let me change this back over to igneous. Because that's what's locally available. No, build. There we go. Oh, hey, Joe. Thank you for the resub. It is a fun and rewarding game when you have the fruits of your labor pay off. So my breathability is a little low, but it's probably these tunnels down here that are rendering it low, and not actually the base itself. Oh yeah, the base is blue. So the breathability is a lie. I mean, it's not a lie, but it's calculating things that don't matter to me. And printing pod. Oxalite, a decorator, a researcher supplier, or a doctor? Wow. Such choice. Much amaze. Viper, is there anything skills for you? Nope. Kellyan, skills for you? I could give you advanced medical care, but I'd rather not. I'd rather have you be happy. Hess, how about you? Eventually you're going to get suit wearing, but no. And then... Glitch, I'm going to start to give you strength and carrying stuff. So that when you're not farming, you can help tidy up. But taking a look, your morale, there was not a lot of wiggle room, so I have to make sure that they're staying happy. And this achievement is probably in the oil, right? Slick. Enter an oil biome. Alright, so we're going to keep searching oil down here. And yeah, there's a lot of it. So this is... a saltwater geyser? Game. For real? Well, there's plenty of oil to pump down here. So, okay. It's fine. Just hurts my feelings a little bit that we go all the way down for oil and it's like, saltwater. Damn you. Time to get desalination going? I can't. I don't have materials for a pump that would survive that. I agree, at some point in the future, yes. But right now, no. The game wants me to frack. I know. No kidding. But yeah, there's plenty of oil down here for me to pump. So what we're going to do is... insulated liquid pipe made out of igneous. And this is... and we decided not to do anything with the heat, which, for better or for worse. So it's like single-use oil, which is hilarious. But hey, who needs meta, right? Okay, that's a project. That's a big old project. So the idea here is to go to a low point, sort of drain all this oil to a low point, pump the oil, which of course will destroy the pump, but pump the oil as much as we can up here, probably putting it into some sort of storage. Liquid reservoir. Oh, you know what? Its overheat temperature sucks. So, no storage. Yeah, no storage. We have a long enough pipe that it will hold a lot of volume. And then take this oil with radiant pipes down to this cold biome to ruin the cold biome. And then probably end up wanting to cap it so that the water of the cold biome, when it melts, doesn't go down to the oil. So maybe once we're done with the piping here, stick like a water catcher or something. We did just get fossils though, so fossils will crush to lime, allowing us to make more steel. And then, yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, that's just crude oil? Why does it look different? Well, I don't know. Yeah, you guys did say radiant pipes. That's right. That's right. So when this comes off... Oh, let me set up a second run, too. We'll have the outflow go down to this cold biome. And then radiant pipe it. And then what I'll probably want to do is to set up a radiant pipe, and then at a certain temperature, put it into storage for like plastic or something. What is the ideal temperature to make plastic? That's the question. Because, and I'll explain it to the for lack of a better term, newbies in the chat. If you try to make plastic out of really, really, really hot oil, it will create plastic that's basically just naphtha. It will create like liquid plastic, which is not that useful. Go to the toilet. Run, Chemo. Better run. All right, as far as schedules go, I'm going to give them a little bit of downtime at the start of the day as well, so that they can possibly get some bathroom time and some... Well, I guess they all, except for Kelvin, travel through the nature reserve right in the morning. Do biomes keep their temp if you rip out all the blocks inside them? No, the temperature is the sum of the blocks. It's the sum of the liquid, solids, and gases in the biome. So without the solids, liquids, and gases, you have a vacuum, and vacuum doesn't have a temperature. So if you rip everything out, it doesn't really work like that. So the cold biome is cold because there is snow and ice and cold gases. It's not innately cold. If that makes sense. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Badlands, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, keeping in mind that this series is a casual one. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream, and also a big thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. Farewell, duplicates.